This is a live Channels television event.
On behalf of the Theatre Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Loki Irabo, I wish to welcome Component Commander Maritime, the representative of the Air Component Commander, the Acting General Officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army, Formation Commanders, Principal Staff Officers, Commanding Officers, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to have you on our live weekly press conference on the happenings in the theater. Today being Wednesday, 4th January 2017. As usual, the conference will take this pattern. Firstly, I will invite the theater commander to present his brief. Thereafter, he entertains questions, answers, clarification. Then we later conclude. May I, at this juncture, humbly invite the theater commander, Operation Lafia Dole, to present his brief. The theater commander, sir.
The Maritime Company Commander, the General Officer commanding 7th Division, the representative of the Air Company Commander, all of our commanders here present, distinguished members of the press, good afternoon. Let me say Happy New Year to every one of us, and I believe that it's going to be a good year. Before I commence, I'd like to warn that some of the pictures we're likely to find us display might be very disturbing. Please just understand with us. The troops of Operation Lafia Dole have continued exploitation and mop-up against the fleeing Boko Haram terrorists, of course with attendant successes. In this brief, I intend to give you an update amongst other things. And I want to say that I have a little surprise for you in the course of this briefing. And I know that when we get to that stage, that the cat will be let out of the bag. Now, on the updates on Operation Rescue Final, the operation in Sambisa Forest and environ is continuing. Our troops are conducting various exploitation and mop-up operations against the fleeing Boko Haram terrorists, who, of course, are now in complete disarray. In that regard, clearance operations are being conducted. On the 29th of December, at about 06:47 hours, own troops embark on clearance operation to Dumu Forest in coordination with the operation. And the troops cleared Dumu Forest, Dumu Village, I beg your pardon, and Bulajuta. They also carried out bombardment of some suspected locations, and including Gombole, Malabi, Shewolowo, Izue, Ngwalimiri, and Latan villages. On the 31st, at about 09:45 hours, own troops conducted a clearance operation to Iowa village, which is, of course, for those of you, into Sambisa, as crow flies, about 25 kilometers. Troops cleared Tula, Majaja, Nafaida, Jaja, Masukura, and before getting to Iowa. Although there was no contact that was made, we found a mini Boko Haram terrorist camp And of course, what we saw there were destroyed in situ. Now, the troops equally assembled the villagers that were found, and then carried out a quick profiling, and with some interaction with the villagers, where, of course, the locals informed the troops of one, that was in their midst, who was in the habit of giving food items to the Boko Haram terrorists. And of course, he was picked and currently is undergoing interrogation in our facility. Now, within the period, we have arrested a good number of the Boko Haram terrorist elements. Some of them are commanders, and others, of course, are criminal gangs. On the 25th, at about 10:00 hours, own troops at Portiskum apprehended a Boko Haram terrorist member. His name is Musa, and of course, the suspect is currently undergoing interrogation. We have blanked off their faces for obvious reasons. On the 30th, at about 15:20 hours, own troops, in conjunction with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, arrested a suspected Boko Haram terrorist by name Rabiu. Of course, I'll leave his surname as usual, at Bajoga. He realized that a good number of them are fleeing from these areas, going to some other places. But of course, because of the security tentacles that we have around the entire Northeast, that's why we're able to pick them. And the suspect, of course, he fled to Gombe, and as a result of the recent attacks, this was from the interrogation we've made so far. And he confessed to have been with the Boko Haram terrorists for the past 4 years, and he took part in the attack of troops along Damaturu-Maiduguri Road, amongst several others. The suspect, of course, is in our custody for further interrogation. On the 30th, at about 13:30 hours, our troops arrested another confirmed Boko Haram terrorist member at Goni Kala. The suspect, of course, was moved, whilst moving him to Damaturu, he attempted to flee and jump out of the vehicle. And of course, the troops, shot at him. Of course, along the line, he died, and his corpse was deposited at the General Hospital in Damaturu. On the 25th, at about 13:30 hours, troops, in conjunction with the Department of State Service, trailed two high-profile kidnappers, one Mohammed and another Sani, for an alleged plan to carry out an operation in Gombe and possibly escape to their camp at Yuga Forest in Bauchi State. The two kidnappers were tracked and arrested, and they are currently in custody of the Department of State Service. Of course, during the operation, one of the suspects attempted to also escape, but was shot. Unfortunately, he died later, whilst being taken care of in DSS custody. But the other suspect, Mohammed Ali, is still in detention, and the items that were recovered from them included the sum of 28,000 naira, along with 3 mobile phones, 2 rings, tobacco, 1 eyeglass, wristwatch, and of course a lighter. On the 2nd of January, at about 19:20 hours, own troops deployed in Newman arrested one Dahiru Saidu, who was on transit from Lafia Lamude. And of course, the suspect, is one of those we've been looking for, that is on our wanted list, Syria 164. And that is his picture right on the screen there. Now, we also, within the period, intercepted suspected Boko Haram terrorists, cartels that were arrested by Boko Haram terrorists. And that was on 29th at about 10:30 hours at beyond Cashew Plantation. For those of you who know Maiduguri very well, our troops who were under ISIS, the whilst on patrol around Bale, Shuari, intercepted 30 cows. And of course, the cows, were abandoned by the Boko Haram terrorists, and right now they are being taken care of. Those are the cows. Now, ambush operation. On 30th December at about 06:30, armed troops that are deployed at Tran, and some of you have reported that as an attack, but it was actually our ambush positions that the fleeing Boko Haram terrorists, who did not know that they were there, of course, ran into them. And so, in the process, 15 of the Boko Haram terrorists were killed. And unfortunately, of course, four soldiers were wounded. That is our soldiers. Of course, they were lifted to Maiduguri for treatment. Now, some of the items that were recovered from there included 2 AK-47 rifles and 4 FN rifles, as well as